Welcome back. I've missed you. This is the third episode I've done on Love is Blind Season 2. If you like this format of me reacting to a show in this way, sort of back to back, please hit the like button below. Okay, today we're talking about Nick and Danielle. I thought their relationship was super interesting because in many ways it seemed very healthy, and in many ways it seemed very sick. And I want to talk about why that relationship works. So we're going to talk about who they are as individuals and then how their strengths or characteristics help them fit together. Okay, so first let's talk about Danielle. Throughout the show, she makes it exceptionally clear that she has a lot of insecurities, right? She's lost a lot of weight, so she's got body image issues. She has difficulty controlling her emotions. She worries that people won't love her long term. There's this insecurity. It was a big part of her identity, and that would be that if I were her therapist or her coach, what I would be saying to her is it is I think okay for her to. I mean, it's good for her to acknowledge her insecurity. My worry for her would be that she over-identified with her insecurity, so it became part of every conversation with Nick and with others, right? She needs to find a way to separate that. But anyway, so you have this person who is deeply insecure. And the question as a viewer is like, what happened? What led to that? And then we met her family, and I could tell instantly where it comes from, right? Her mother is, I can't diagnose anybody, but from what we saw on the show, looked either like borderline personality disorder or histrionic personality disorder. This over-the-top presence, emotions all over the place, very dominant, really wanted all of the attention. I mean, the whole sort of episode was about this mom figure. And you can imagine if you're Danielle and you grow up in that household, it could be easy to be overshadowed by your mom who requires so much attention. So how do you get attention in that environment? I think you elevate as well. You match. Your mom has modeled this for you. This is how I get attention. This is how I get support. This is how I get love. And so I can imagine for Danielle growing up in that household, not having the genuine relationship with her mom that she wants, not having the attention that she needs, and then having maladaptive coping strategies has led to a lot of insecurity for her. So that's Danielle, right? And then just go over, let's think about Nick. Nick, on the other hand, comes across initially as being very controlled and very polished. He doesn't like to make mistakes. He's very clean, very perfectionistic. And then periodically throughout the show, he talks about how he doesn't feel like he's known. He feels like he's forgotten about in his family, a family of divorce. And then we meet his mom, who is the exact opposite of Danielle's mom. She is stoic, cold, distant. I mean, I was taking notes when I was watching. I was going like, this lady is absolutely mean. Like, there's no connection. It's Nick, his mom, and then there's two sisters, all of whom feel aligned against him. I think he has no sense of traction in the family. And I can imagine that, I don't know what the situation was during the divorce, but I think Nick never got enough positive regard. And as a child, it's so important that your parents validate you, that they love you, that you feel like you have a genuine attachment with them. And I think Nick's, was probably anxiously attached, trying to figure out, how do I get love? And his reaction to that is to be perfect. I don't make mistakes. I'm controlled. I'm polished. I'm pleasant, right? He's acting like the perfect guy. So you have these two people that meet each other and they have a genuine connection, but when they're together, every once in a while, their flaws or challenges clash. And we saw that really clearly on the very first fight when they were in Mexico, when Nick went to the party and Danielle couldn't go, and he came back and he had a good time, and she became insecure. What if you don't love me? What if you're too happy? You're going to leave me. There's no way you could be with me. And instead of him responding what I would describe in a healthier way, which is to listen, tell her that you love her, tell her that you're there all the way, right, to be supportive, he became really defensive. I think the reason why he became defensive is that it triggered that part of him that feels like he's not good enough. So instead of him being able to say, why do you feel that way? How can I help? What can I do differently? He goes, you're wrong. This is ridiculous. Becomes really defensive and aggressive back at her, which you can imagine for Danielle, who's already deeply insecure, just leads her to spin out of control. And I would tell you that pattern happened over and over again in the show. Danielle would get triggered by something very minor due to her insecurity, and Nick would respond back very defensively due to his own insecurities, and that's why their fights were so egregious. They came back on the reunion and they both seemed stable and healthier and happier. I don't know if they've gone to couples counseling or what. They seemed better. But I don't think we have a picture into all of their fights. I would imagine that would be an ongoing challenge for the both of them. Okay, that's the negative part, but why does the relationship work? It's because they both address and support their insecurities, right? Danielle has always felt overshadowed. She's always dealt with a mom that was emotionally all over the mercurial, all over the board, right? And Nick is very stable, very controlled. And so I think for the first time in Danielle's life, she's got someone who she's close to that is able to give her the space to be herself and not overshadow her, right? And for the first time in Nick's life, he has someone that deeply loves him and is really transparent and communicative about her affection, right? The things that they didn't get when they were children, they're getting from each other. Now, here's the question for the sake of their relationship. As they grow and develop individually, will they be able to change the dynamics of their relationship to match their own sort of personal and psychological growth? So for example, if Danielle becomes more comfortable in her own skin, if she's less insecure, more confident, she's not going to have the same need, sort of the same level of desperation for affection and love from Nick, right? She won't be as over the top in expressing it to Nick. She'll be more comfortable on her own. If Nick doesn't also evolve, he's going to feel like he's no longer getting the support and affection that he's used to. He's going to feel abandoned and rejected, and that could lead to distress. Right? It's important that they both grow together so that as Danielle differentiates, he's also comfortable with that differentiation. I would tell you that is one of the most common ways that relationships go sideways is people grow and develop sort of separately, not together. All right, thank you so much for listening. Please leave comments below. Let me know what you thought about the couple, this review. What did I miss? Let me know. Like and subscribe, all those things.